Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. I would like to talk about burdens. I would like to, I suppose, question and explore what it would be like to see something in a different way or from a different perspective. So for example, how many of us see chores or see things that we feel like we have to do, or things that we even secretly want to do as a burden? Do we approach something that we must do in the way that, oh God, I have to do this, or this is such a chore, or are we going in with that mentality? Are we going in with that, I suppose, from that perspective? So what would it be like for us to experience that which we have to do in the way of finding enjoyment in it? What is there to be gained from what you're doing, and also what is joyful about what you are taking part in? So initially this is, I suppose, an exercise to start to free up your areas where you're getting stuck, or areas that you are, where you're starting to resent certain situations or certain people or certain, even it could be tasks, it could be jobs, whether it's at home or at work or wherever it is in the world. It is a good question to ask, because you may find that there are many things that you are, I suppose, a lot of problems you might be creating where there aren't any. It could be a big stretch or a far stretch for some people to experience like things that really don't sound enjoyable as enjoyable. However, it really will lighten the load that you are, you perceive that you're carrying. This is a really good tool and a really good exercise to do if there is something that you feel, or a situation that you're in, that you feel obliged to do something or to be somewhere. This is a really good tool and a really good way of making it more joyful for you, or making it more enjoyable for you, because the other end of the spectrum of that is just choosing things that bring you joy, which is, again, it's another, I suppose, another layer and a step further than that. So if there is something that you're taking part in at the moment, or that you're doing and you feel like this is, your body is refusing to do it, or you've in your mind, you've now made this a burden, you've made this a problem. So if you're going to do something, or even going to meet somebody, and you've already made it into something that you don't want to do, then how are you supposed to enjoy it? So the answer is that you don't enjoy it, and you also come away with that feeling of you've been burdened by something, or you have been, I suppose, exposed to something that you didn't really want to take part in. So it's a lot of it is about our perspective, is how we see things, how we see the world. So if we can see, and a lot of big authors and speakers would have spoke about how we can seek the joy in every experience, and they believe that there is joy in every experience. And I know Viktor Frankl would be up with that mentality, where you can find joy and you can find contribution and benefit in everything, so that you are able to reach the point of being grateful for those things. So that would be a kind of an edge further. So once we can find joy in what we're doing, we then can learn to naturally be grateful for that which we've just taken part in, which moves us a step further again. It moves us further in actually gaining and getting what it is that we do want. It's a really good way of growing out of a situation, or I suppose growing out of a way of being in the world, or a way of thinking in the world. So again, we're moving more towards really showing the universe what it is that we want. So if we're grateful for more things that we are doing, it actually, and I'm not sure if this makes sense, but it actually moves you away from things that you actually don't really want to do, and things that you would prefer to do. It is actually the fuel that gets you from A to B, because we can find that when the resentment or bitterness or stuckness kicks in, anyone can stay in a space for an unlimited amount of time. It depends on you and when you want to leave it, and this is possibly a good tool in order for you to be able to get the cogs moving and be able to see that there's other possibilities and there is movement within your body, within your mind, because sometimes just jumping from one thing to the other might not make sense to you, might not be available to you. it may be something that you're not ready or not able to choose in this moment. So this is a good way of really, as I said, finding joy in things, finding enjoyment in any task that you do. Then being able to be grateful for what it is that you're doing, and moving on from that, finding things that you are, I suppose, find more enjoyable and that you can be more grateful for. So it is a way, again, of moving out of a stuck situation. It's a really, really good way of moving out of a stuck situation. And I'm going to go further and say the situation isn't stuck. It's that we are stuck. So we've become stuck in the way that we see the situation, in the way that we are with the situation. And people often do say that whatever you reject, you attach to yourself, or what we resist, we attract. So if you're stuck in something and you have a certain point of view, and you've decided that you have a fixed idea of what this is and that you don't like it, or whatever way you've attached yourself to it, it's to become unattached, become detached from it, so that then you can move forward. So I hope that makes some kind of sense. So what else is possible around becoming unstuck in any situation in our lives? What else is possible around becoming unstuck within ourselves, so that we can move and flow and move more towards that which we actually really desire? Thanks, guys.